Hey there, it's Kat and this is Brews and Reviews. So today I decided I wanted to film RuPaul's book tag, and this was created by Kaz from Cats and Camera, who was the person that tagged me when she originally made this video a year and a half ago. So I'm a bit late to the party. Not late to the Drag Race party, because I love Drag Race. I just, for some reason, never go around to doing this tag. So here I am, doing it now, because why? I'm obsessed with Drag Race at the moment. If you follow Drag Race, you probably know that season 13 of the US version is currently airing, and so is the second season of the UK version, which I am loving. I'm loving both of them, but I've got to say, the UK girls, loving it a lot. And if I ever get UK Han out of my head, I will be lucky. Seriously, it's an earworm. So without further ado, let's get into the questions. Question number 1 is Eleganza Extravaganza, your most expensive book. Okay, so for this one, oh gosh, we're gonna shame me for my book purchase now, aren't we really? Because I'm not a big buyer of expensive books because I am cheap. I like a good secondhand book. But if a book really means something to me and it's like one of my favorites, then I will, maybe go there for, just go the extra mile for it. Okay, so I can't talk about special editions that I've been gifted or anything like that, but I can talk about the one purchase that I made. So it was like a big splurge for myself, and I keep it in this Amazon gift bag, just to keep it a little bit safer than it would be otherwise, I guess. I'll give you a few seconds just to have a little guess to see if you can, figure out which author this book is from. The book that I would spend a fair amount of money on. Did you guess? Yeah, it's David Gemmell. So this book here is Draenei Tales Volume 1. So this is an omnibus of the first 3 books in the Draenei saga. So that includes Legend, King Beyond the Gate, and Waylander. And this book is a first edition, and it has been signed by David Gemmell. So that's cool. So just in case, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. This book means a lot to me, obviously, because it is a David Gemmell first edition signed book, but also because it's probably the only chance I'm going to have in my life to hold a first edition that includes Legend in it, because they are more expensive than this was. This was close to £200, which is an extraordinary amount of money. I know that I'm extremely lucky. I had saved up quite a bit of money, and I was like, I'm going to make this purchase because it will make me happy, and it has made me very happy. I'm very, very happy to have this book. And I know it's something that I will keep and cherish for a very long time. And just trust me, I did not make this purchase lightly, because I don't like spending ridiculous amounts of money on books that then you won't read, but it's very special to me, so I did. I spent yeah. Question number 2, Pit Crew, aesthetically pleasing books. So I actually have quite a lot of pretty covers that I think are really aesthetically pleasing, but I'm kind of going to do an entire video about that. So for the answer to this question, I'm going to show you a set of books that everybody comments about. I get loads of comments about this, just saying, wow, those books are so pretty. So I just thought I'd just show you those ones for this question. Also, I feel like I just talked about how I don't splurge out on special editions of book, and I'm showing you 3 more special editions. But this was a set, and again, very important to me, very special books to me. And I don't feel too bad about it because they're really pretty and I really like them. It's this set of Red Rising that usually sits here on the shelves behind me. Look at how pretty it is. Look. Oof. I don't even know if you can see, to be honest, in the thing. But they're also signed. And yeah, I'll just show you the other 2 in the series. And here's Golden Sun. So that has that on the cover, and then on the back it says, "Now I am the sword, and I do not forgive, I do not forget," which is a really accurate quote for me. I realised I forgot to say what was on the back of this one. It's, "I would have lived in peace, but my enemies brought me war." And then finally, we have Morning Star, which is lovely blue with blue sprayed edges, and it says, "If this is the end, I will rage towards it," which, yeah, I love it. Also, they have a nice little pattern on the back, which I was trying to show you with just one of them, but they need to all be together. And then when you hold them all together like that, they make up a nice little pattern. So yeah, very aesthetically pleasing in all accounts, and I love these books. Question number 3 is Comeback Queen, an author that you either lost interest in or took ages to bring out a new book that came back with a bang. Okay, so please forgive me and my channel for getting quite wrapped up in this author recently. I feel like you already know if you've been watching my videos. Sarah J Maas, actually. Yeah, there is a video on my channel of my initial review of Throne of Glass, and I didn't really like it. I didn't really get it. I thought, well, Selena's a bit arrogant, and she doesn't really do very much, and I don't really like her, and the story was a bit meh, and the competition was a bit meh. And I didn't like it. I think last year or the year before, I decided to read A Court of Thorns and Roses, because I thought, maybe I'll like that, it's Fae. And I did like that, especially towards the end. I thought it was great. So I thought, maybe I'll give Throne of Glass another try, because everyone says Heir of Fire, it gets really great. I did that. I read the prequel, this one, reread the second one, and then got to the third one, and I'm like, I love it. I just recently read Akamath as well, and I love that. I'm almost mad at myself for having read this book and given up, because everyone just sort of says, oh yeah, it's like booktube hypes, it's not actually that good, and blah 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 blah. You know, we like to moan about popular things. It's a thing that we do. But I actually think that's doing quite a disservice to Sarah J Maas. I think that her writing may be easy to read, but I think there is a lot of value in some of the things that she is saying. I found that particularly in A Court of Mist and Fury. I really enjoyed that. I am really glad that I tried again with her writing, because I was like, I don't know, not bothered. A bit like how I feel about Cassandra Clare, who I've definitely given up on now because she really wasn't for me. Sarah J Maas was for me. Turns out, who knew? Try books again, I guess. Question number 4. Don't Fuck It Up. A sequel that you're dying to read. Okay, I'm not even going to talk about this one because you guys are just going to roast me over the coals for being a Sarah J Maas stan now, I guess. I guess that's a thing that I am, because I'm really excited to read this book, and yeah, I'm basically waiting until I have the time to actually sit down and vlog it to pick it up, because I'm invested, very invested. Question number 5, Snatch Game. Who did it better? Compare 2 books with similar plots, tropes, or covers, and let us know who did it better. For some reason I found this really hard, and then I thought, oh no wait, it's not that hard. Because dystopians of the early 2010s. So for this one I'm going to compare Mockingjay with Raging Star, which I forgot the name of. Right, there's a reason that I forgot the name of this. It's because the book that I remember the most in this series is Blood Red Road, which is the first book. It's a really good book. It's really interesting dystopia, and this book, the third in the trilogy, was just a copy of Mockingjay. Really, in a not great way. I mean, I'm guessing most of you know what happens in Mockingjay from either watching the film or reading the books. Blood Red Road, really interesting sort of desert dystopian. There's like a whole gladiatory type thing in the first book, and it's really interesting. And in the third book, like, there's this whole weird thing with like a love triangle. And before I go into the next bit, I just want to say that this is a spoiler for the end of this series and for the end of this series. There's a sister in this one who goes a bit like Messiah, all good, and then she ends up dying. And I was like, wow, hello Prim. So that was a bit annoying. Some other characters die, and then the end is like the not perfect ending where the 2 people who should be together don't really get together, but they kind of do, but they don't, I guess. Which is, I guess, if you dropped off the end chapter of Mockingjay, that would happen too. Anyway, Mockingjay did it better. I know a lot of people have conflicting opinions on Mockingjay, but having read this book and really enjoyed the books that came before it, and the villain, actually. I really enjoyed the villain in this. And then I feel like in this book, the villain sucked. Because it turned out he was much older than I thought he was, and I was like, wait, I'm really confused? Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. I think that Mockingjay did the end of a dystopian trilogy thing better. Because there were a lot of similarities between these 2 books, and I preferred this one to this one. Question number 6. Reading is fundamental. Read some of your favourite books. And by read, that means throw shade for those of us who are not in the know. I'm bad at throwing shade. Okay, well I'm not, because Complaints with Cat videos exist, and wow. But I can't throw shade on my favourite books. It doesn't come to me. I love them so much. I'm invested wholly in my whole heart. I can acknowledge that they have some problems, but also I love them so much that I can't think of how to be funny around them. Yeah, look, where are my glasses? Let me put, I can't even find my reading glasses. My god. I mean, if you guys have any reads for my favourite books, please leave them in the comment below, because I can't do it. I can't. And lastly, question 7 is RuPaul's best friend race. Tag some people. So, I don't actually know who watches RuPaul's Drag Race. If you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you are tagged, because let's just have some more Drag Race fun on the internet. So if you don't fancy leaving a comment, leave me an emoji, a rainbow emoji maybe, because we like rainbows over here. And if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!